Dear praying friends around the world, welcome and welcome back to session number 5 of that series of 10 short video clips with the common topic of Jerusalem. Jerusalem, the city of the great king, Jerusalem, the city of the valley of decision, and Jerusalem, the city of the return of Messiah Jesus. In the first clip, we talked about Jesus naming Jerusalem city of the great king. That's in Matthew 5, and he was quoting from Psalm 48, this term, city of the great king. In the second part, we looked upon deeper into the roots of Jerusalem, namely going to the times of Abraham, the time of Melchizedek being called the king of Salem, the time when Abraham went with his son Isaac, the son of promise, to Mount Moriah to sacrifice him, which God did not allow at the end. Then we learned later that Mount Moriah was the mount on which Solomon built his temple, which today is called the Temple Mount. And from there we went to Jesus, and his connection to Jerusalem was very, very deep and very profound. The core ministry of Jesus as Messiah was done in Jerusalem or connected to Jerusalem, including his crucifixion, his burial, his resurrection, and his ascension to heaven. And now we look into history from the time of Jesus and the times of the apostles until today in a nutshell, only in 3 minutes. A brief history lesson. So at the time of Jesus, as we all know, Jerusalem and Israel was under Roman occupation. Rome conquered this part of the world in 63 before the Christian era, and they stayed there until 324 AD. There were two battles, two conflicts that caused so much suffering, so many dead on both sides, but mainly on the Jewish side. The uprising that started in 66 AD, and Jerusalem was conquered in 70 AD, and then the final rest of the Jewish fighters were on Masada, committing suicide on 74 AD. So Jerusalem was conquered the first time by the Romans. And then a little later, 2 generations later, the Jewish people again did an uprising under the leadership of Bar Kokhba, and that was put down in 135 AD. So Jerusalem was conquered, was destroyed a second time by the Romans in only a very short time. So this was a very sad story of Jewish history. And the Romans, Emperor Hadrian, he gave Jerusalem a new name called Aelo Capitolina, which is called and translated as a little capital, a small capital, a name to ridicule Jerusalem and disconnect it from its Jewish history. And then the whole land of Israel was called by Hadrian by a different name called Palestina, referring to the Philistines, the greatest enemy of the Jewish people in the centuries before. So he wanted to disconnect Jewish history, the Jewish people, the Jewish land to its owners, the Jewish people, and Jerusalem in specific. Then in 324 until 638, this part of the world was under Byzantine rule. That's a Christian Roman Empire, the eastern side with Constantinople, Eastern Church with Constantinople as the capital of that time, which today is Istanbul. And then in 638, the Muslim hordes came and conquered Jerusalem in the time of Mohammed. And then it stayed Muslim under Muslim rule until the time of the Crusaders, different dynasties until the time of the Crusaders, which began in 1099 AD and held and continued till 1193. From 1099 to 1193, it was under Christian Crusader rule. Then it continued from 1193 to 1517. The Mamelukes ruled over Jerusalem. It's an Egyptian rulership. And then from 1517 to 1917, the Ottoman Empire ruled over Jerusalem from out of Istanbul, what's Turkey today. And then 1917 to 1948, it became the British mandate, as most of us would know. And then in 1948, May 14, Israel became a Jewish state, and one part of Jerusalem came under Jewish sovereignty. And the second part in 1967, which we will celebrate together as Global Prayer Call at the conference in Jerusalem around Yom Yerushalayim, May 24 of 2017. All of you are very much invited. Thank you, and God bless you. Dear praying friends of Israel and the Jewish people around the world, a very, very warm invitation to come to our next Global Prayer Call conference in Jerusalem around Yom Yerushalayim, Jerusalem Day, celebrating the 50th anniversary of the reunification of Jerusalem. Jerusalem, as all of you know, is a very significant city, the most important city in the world. The city of the great King, the city of the Valley of Decision, the city of the return of Jesus. In that city, starting in the evening of May 22 and finishing at the evening of May 25, in the beautiful Down Jerusalem Hotel on Mount Scopus, we will gather. We, intercessors from all around the world, will unite in praise, in celebration, in prayer, and in intercession. Excellent speakers and apostolic prophetic leaders from Africa, Asia, America, Australia, and Europe will be with us. It will be a unique experience in a unique city at a unique time. And for those of you who want to join us after the conference, the experience of worshiping, learning, and praying will continue at our guided geopolitical intercessory tour from May 26 to May 31. So once again, a very warm welcome to both the conference and the tour.